But we're now moving on to the strength section, which you might be doing as a section on its own after your warm-up, or you may have just done your aerobic section, so this is a time to cool your body down a little bit. If you've just done your aerobic section and you feel like your heart rate's still quite high, then just walk around the room a little bit whilst we're talking to you. Okay, so we're going to do our strength work for our legs, and this is the part where we really want to focus on actually improving our strength in this third trimester. Strange, I know, but if you think about it, we're now gearing up towards the birth, and we want to make sure the legs are really strong so that if you can have an active birth if you want to. Now, I brought in Lindsay, who's here with me today. Hi Lindsay, you okay?
Yes, thank you.
Now Lindsay, you're just going into your third trimester, aren't you?
Yes.
So you're around 28 weeks now. So how do you feel about it all? Are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Good,
yeah,
good.
So far, so good.
So Lindsay's been exercising all the way through her pregnancy, so it's okay for her to step up her strength work a little bit now. We're not going to try and push it at all. We're going to take it very much according to her needs, and I want you to do the same. If you haven't managed to do so much strength work, then take the easier options that we're going to give you. Remember, it must feel right to you. That's so important. Only do what feels good. Okay, so we're going to start off with our balance work like we did in the first and second trimesters. So making sure that you've got a nice neutral spine in the back here. So just dropping the tailbone slightly, lifting the belly slightly, making sure your belly button's drawing back towards your baby. Connect to your pelvic floor, pull up inside you and draw the shoulder blades back and down. So holding nicely aligned, making sure the chin doesn't stick out. So just bring it down a little bit. That's perfect. Well done. All right, so holding that position there. So we're going to do our balance work. So you can put your hands onto your hips if you want to just make sure they stay nice and level. And then take a breath. As you exhale, peel your right foot off the floor and hold it out in front. Try not to let your legs move. Hold it there. Rotate the ankle around a couple of times one way and then a couple of times the other way. And then just place your foot down on the floor and change legs. So try it on the other side. Peel your left leg off the floor, hold and balance, and rotate around. Just rotating the ankle around, that's good. And then back the other way. Doesn't matter whether you're on your right or your left, as long as you're doing one and then the other. Okay, then place the foot back down. We're going to go back to the first leg again, so take the leg up off the floor. And we're going to advance it this time. Now, if you're feeling your body weight shifting to the side, try and avoid that. Lift yourself up as tall as you can. Rotate, keep that ankle moving. Really important to keep the ankle moving, so rotate it around. So a couple of times each way. Now take the leg behind and really extend and squeeze your bum. Now this is where you want to be really careful you're not allowing this back to arch. So Lindsay, lift your belly for me a little bit, shoulders stay down, and if you want to, you can take your arm up as well. So take your arm up. Now you don't have to do that, these are all options. You don't have to do the leg behind either if you don't want to. Try and squeeze your bum, and then place the leg back down and change sides again. So other side, left leg, take the foot off the floor, rotate the ankle around a couple of times each way. It's good. Now take the leg behind, squeeze your bum, lift your belly. Keep pulling your belly in nice and tight. Make sure that you're not arching your back. Now take the arm up if you want to, optional. Make sure you feel in control. Now Lindsay's hip is tipping a little bit here, so I want to bring her into a more aligned position. Do you feel how much harder that is, Lindsay? Okay, so you need to make sure you're in that nicely aligned position. If it feels too much, bring the arm down, put the foot down onto the floor, yeah? Okay, and release. Well done. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. So really good to challenge your balance. It'll be harder now because your belly's bigger and your balance will be more thrown. So we're going to move on to the next move now. So Lindsay, if you want to face me, I'm going to grab the band and we're now going to do some birthing squats. Okay, so this is what we call an optimal birthing position. Now, whether you choose to use this when you give birth or not is going to be, who knows. If it feels right, do it, basically. You may not have the opportunity to do that. We don't know what births we're going to have. But if you can be active, then this is one position that you might wish to adopt. So it's good to strengthen our legs in this position because you might be having to hold it for quite a long length of time. Now I'm going to get Lindsay to hold on to the band here. You could hold on to anything. The kitchen sink actually works quite well. Or you could hold on to the back of a bed, or you can just go down into a squat, but it is quite nice to be able to hold on for a bit of support, so I would suggest you use that. You can use a chair, but make sure that it doesn't tip if you're going to hold on to a chair or the back of a sofa. Okay, so take your feet wide into a wider than hip distance apart position. Your toes should be slightly turned down. Now you're going to drop down into just a small squat position. It's not low, optimal birthing position, it's just a slight squat. And you actually want to lean forward slightly. So if you just tip slightly forward and hold that position there, there's your perfect position. And that's a position you want to try and hold. But very importantly, you connect to your core. So pull your belly button back towards your spine, draw your shoulders down, that's it. And then take some nice big deep breaths. It's really important you do not hold your breath in this position. If you feel tall, faint, dizzy, anything like that, come straight out of your squat. Don't hold a position if it doesn't feel right. You okay? Yeah? And we're going to lift up out of the position again. And we'll go down again when we're ready. If you want a bit more of a rest, you can. We're going to go down now. So only hold for as long as you feel comfortable with and take some nice big deep breaths. Now this time we're going to ask Lindsay to take a big breath, inhale, and as she exhales this time we're going to ask her to let her pelvic floor go. Just to release her pelvic floor and relax it. Tummy muscles are still going to come in, but she's going to release her pelvic floor, so I want you to try and do the same thing. Okay, we'll come back up and we'll do that one more time. You alright? Yeah? So we'll go down again. So pulling the tummy muscles in. Make sure your weight's into your heels. You just got that small squat position, slight forward lean. And again, take a nice big deep breath, inhale. And as you exhale, relax, let the pelvic floor go. Very important because when you give birth, you're going to be letting your pelvic floor go. So it's good to recognize that feeling. Okay? And release and come up. Well done. All right, so we're going to move on to using our bands for our strength work. Now again, you've done this before in a lunge position, a road lunge position. But we're going to give you two options this time. So holding onto the band into your right hand, you're going to start with just a very, very small squat, just dropping down into a squat. Now again, lift the belly, drop the tailbone slightly so you've just got that neutral spine position. Take the opposite hand out and you're going to row back, pulling back. So Lindsay, if you row back for me now, that's great. Pulling back, working through into the back muscles and release. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down, pulling the tummy muscles in as you row back. That's good. I'm going to ask Lindsay to do a couple more in this position. Keep releasing the shoulders down, away from your neck. That's good. And pulling the tummy muscles in all the time. Very, very important. Now this is how you do it if you feel you're getting to a point where you don't want to work any more than this level, if you feel you're getting a bit tired. If you want to advance it, you go into your lunge position. So Lindsay, if you step forward with your left leg, that's it. Okay, so remember when you're doing this, your opposite leg is forward to your hand, whichever position you're in. So you make sure your right hand is forward with your left leg or vice versa, whichever position you're in. Okay, now holding the arm out again, exactly the same thing, dropping down in your lunge position, dropping down, pulling back, good, excellent, and then releasing. I'm going to give you a bit more length there, that was a bit hard, wasn't it? And again, come down, it's good. And keep it going. Now we've done in total, after this rep, 8 repetitions. So we're going to go for another 4, okay, to make it 12. You could stop whenever you want. You can actually go up to 15, and that's fine. All the while you're doing this, keep going, Lindsay. Check that you're not bringing your knee too far forward. So Lindsay needs to just drop back just a little bit for me, so your knee doesn't come forward. That's it, much better. Really important to keep that knee going back behind the toes, not forward line of the toes. And rest it there, well done. So we're going to change sides this time, working on the other side. We'll start up again with our squat and then go into a lunge, so dropping down, shoulder blades drawn back and down, that's good. And then pulling back behind you again, working the other side. Now I like to get you to do a lot of good strength work for the back muscles. The back muscles are really important, not only for your posture, but for your balance, of muscle balance, because we tend to have tight chest muscles. But also because, again, the back muscles, I believe, are really important when you're giving birth. We know that the stomach muscles are really important, we know the pelvic floor is really important, and there's not research to say this, but I know from talking to lots of women that have had babies, and talking to obstetricians as well, that this is a really important factor to have a strong back so that you can bear down when you're giving birth. Okay, do one more in that position. Now you may be in a lunge already, but we're going to move into a lunge now. So Lindsay's going to step forward, opposite leg forward to arm. I'm going to continue with another 8 moves now with her right leg forward, left arm pulling behind. Doesn't matter which side you're on, whichever you're doing, just make sure you do it on both sides. And keep pulling the tummy muscles in nice and tight. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back and down, making sure that front knee doesn't go over your toe. That's good. Keep drawing the shoulders down. And just remind yourself of that pelvic floor again. Just pull it up, remind yourself that it's there. You okay? Yeah? Doing really well. Now I've completely lost count. How many more do you reckon? One more. Well done. Glad somebody's remembered. One more. Okay, well done. Fantastic. So we're now going to introduce a brand new move, which is like the rowing action, but we're going to introduce a pushing action. So we are bringing this up just a little bit more by doing this extra move. It's an upper body movement, but again, another opportunity to work the legs. But I want you to do what feels right to you, okay? So if you want to sit this one out, feel free to do so. So I'm going to ask Lindsay to take the band into her hand here. She's going to turn away from me, and you need to be turning away from your band and your fixed position. And then she's going to go into just a little squat position to begin with. So we'll show the slightly easier version first. So just bend the knees slightly. And the only reason you're dropping into a slight squat is to kind of ground yourself so you can connect to your core a little bit more rather than being in a very tall position. Draw the shoulder blades back and down, and you're going to punch through or press through with one arm. Doesn't matter which arm you've got the band in, just pushing through and then pulling the arm back. That's good. Now all the while you're doing this, just check the back doesn't overarch. So Lindsay's got nice core control here. She's pulling her tummy muscles in. She's pulling up through her pelvic floor as she pushes through. Okay. Now I'm just going to change it slightly. If you find the band is aggravating your arm, if you just turn it around that way, that's it. You may find that's a little bit more comfortable, so just try it in that position again, just with a squat. Just do a couple more for me like that. You can keep moving if you're in your fixed position. That's good. And of course, like the rowing action, we can advance this by doing it in a row and a lunge position, or I should say a press and lunge position. So we're going to try just a few of those now. We're just going to do 4 more in that position. So Lindsay's going to take the opposite leg forward and have the leg that the band side, so she's got the band in, is behind. Back heel comes off the floor into your lunge position, and you're going to press through again. And as you press through, you lunge down. So press through, Lindsay, and lunge down. Good. Now, if you're nice and coordinated, you don't have to do this, but if you are, you can bring the opposite arm into the action. So as you lunge down, you pull back with the opposite arm. It's a little option for you, making sure the front knee doesn't go over the toe. That's good. Okay, so Lindsay, just try a couple more. That's good. Keep putting your tummy muscles in nice and tight, checking your posture all the way. Remember, you don't have to do these lunges, only if it feels right, and rest there. Well done. Okay, so we're going to change to the other side now. So Lindsay's going to put it into her other hand, and you're going to do the same thing. Just starting off with a squat. If you want to go straight into the lunge, you can do. Sit, and then just a little squat. And Lindsay's going to just push through now, so off you go, Lindsay. Make sure the shoulders stay down as you do this movement. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back and down all the time. Keep pulling your tummy muscles in nice and tight. Now this is a really good movement to do because it's a movement that we do in everyday life, so it's good to keep ourselves strong with the upper body here. But it's also a move where you can work the chest muscles a little bit, but work the arms as well, but in a way that's not too strenuous, just enough to add a little bit of strength. Okay, just go for 1 more. And then Lindsay's just going to try 4 more in a lunge position. So again, taking the opposite leg forward. If you're already in your lunge or you want to stay in your squat, just keep doing your movements until you feel you need to rest. Okay, pressing through. That's it. And Lindsay's bringing the other arm in there as well, which again is optional. Keep drawing those shoulders down. Remember, keep your ears and shoulders at length. So shoulders down away from the ears, and drawing through with the band, pulling your tummy muscles in tight all the time, and don't forget that pelvic floor as well. Okay, should we go for 1 more, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Fantastic, well done. Okay, and rest it there. So we're now moving on to our final exercise in this section, which is another exercise for the back muscles. Very important to keep those nice and strong. But this exercise will really also work the tummy muscles as well. And there are some extra concerns for us now because our bumps are bigger. We need to make sure that we're still able to use those stomach muscles effectively in this exercise. So I'm going to ask Lindsay to do the slightly more difficult version first, which you would have done or had a go at in your second trimester. Now, because our tummies are bigger, the potential separation in the abdominal muscles here could be more significant. It may not be a problem at all, but if you get out of the bath and you feel your tummy doming as you get out of the bath, you'll see that separation. Your tummy kind of goes to a point, and that's where the muscles are slightly separated. So when Lindsay does this exercise, it's really important that she can still pull her tummy muscles in and that the muscles don't, and her tummy doesn't start to dome. So she's still able to pull and draw back in. So we're just going to try a couple in this position here. So just drawing the arms back behind you, Lindsay, that's good. Pulling back behind, that's it. Keeping the shoulder blades drawn back and down. You can actually try this keeping your wrists facing that way, that's it. So that's it, drawing down, keeping the shoulders down, okay? Now I'm going to look at Lindsay's tummy here, and actually she's got very, very good control here as she pulls back. But she might not have, and I know in my stage in my pregnancy that my tummy has separated quite a bit, so I probably wouldn't do this version. Okay, I'll take it back to the version, the very first version you did. So Lindsay, if you just sit back, so just look at your tummy and make sure it's not doming as you do the exercise. So off you go again, Lindsay. So, okay, does that feel easier? Yeah, so it's a little bit easier in that position. So now she's more in control of her tummy. Make sure that as you pull the arms back, you pull your tummy muscles in, you breathe throughout. Yep, so you're taking nice big deep breaths as you roll back. So that's good. Okay, let's go for 2 more. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back and down. So keep pulling those tummy muscles in, and again, remind yourself of your pelvic floor. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back and down. That's it, and rest it there, well done.